What if the only thing standing between you and success is one more step, the mountain that tested patience? In a quiet valley, surrounded by towering peaks, lived a young traveler named Curran. For as long as he could remember, one mountain had fascinated him. It was called Mount Arvian. Unlike the other mountains, Mount Arvian looked almost impossible to climb. Its cliffs were steep, its summit hidden behind swirling clouds, and its path full of unpredictable turns. Most villagers avoided it. Some said the mountain was cursed. Others said it was simply too difficult. But Curran felt something different when he looked at it. Curiosity, determination, and a quiet challenge. One morning, before sunrise, Curran packed a small bag and began his journey. The air was crisp and refreshing. The path at the beginning seemed easy, almost welcoming. Birds sang above him, and the sunlight slowly illuminated the valley below. For a moment, Curran thought the stories about the mountain had been exaggerated. But as he climbed higher, the path grew narrow and treacherous. Loose rocks slid under his feet. Cold winds rushed through the cliffs. At one point, Curran slipped and nearly lost his balance. His heart pounded. Maybe the villagers were right, he muttered. But something inside him refused to turn back. So he continued. Hours passed. His legs ached. His breath became heavy. The once beautiful path now felt exhausting and relentless. Clouds surrounded him, making the path almost invisible. Doubt slowly crept into his mind. What if I never reach the top? He wondered. What if this climb is meaningless? Just as he considered stopping, he noticed something unusual. A small plant was growing from a crack in the rock. The plant looked fragile, yet its roots had pushed through solid stone. Curran stared at it with amazement. How did something so small survive here? He whispered. The wind blew fiercely, yet the plant remained steady. In that moment, Curran understood something profound. Strength is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it is quiet persistence. If a tiny plant could endure such a harsh environment, surely he could continue a little further. So he stood up again and resumed climbing. Step by step, slowly, patiently. The climb remained difficult, but his perspective had changed. Instead of worrying about the summit, he focused on the next step. Eventually, the clouds began to thin. The wind softened, and suddenly, Curran stepped onto the summit. The view was breathtaking. The entire valley stretched beneath him like a living painting. Golden sunlight covered the mountains. Rivers shimmered in the distance, and the sky seemed endless. Curran realized something surprising. The mountain had not been his greatest challenge. His doubt had been. As he sat quietly on the summit, he smiled, not because he had conquered the mountain, but because he had conquered the voice that told him to give up. And sometimes, that is the greatest victory of all. Moral of the story. Success often belongs to those who continue climbing, even when the path becomes difficult. Comment below. What is one thing you refuse to give up on?